Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Christian. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, good day. Wherever you are, whenever you're seeing this, I hope you are good. So guys, today we're going to be doing a video all about supplements and vitamins that you can take for anxiety and depression. You guys know I've been bringing you along the journey. I'm talking about my mental health journey and the things that I've been doing to manage my mental health conditions. And I've also just been kind of talking to you guys here and there over my entire YouTube journey, my entire spiritual journey, about what I've been doing, what's been working, and what hasn't been working. So lately, I feel like I've been talking about this more and more since I've been on my medication. So I wanted to have a video specifically talking about the supplements and vitamins that are great when you're looking to manage your anxiety and depression. Now, I have some notes here because I want to make sure that I give you guys the right tea and the true tea that you need. I'm also going to make sure that I write down a list of the things that I'm going to mention right now and have it on the screen so you can screenshot it and refer back to that list so you know the proper spellings of everything. So make sure you do that. I'm going to have that up on the screen. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and get right into it. If you're dealing with anxiety or depression, if you are dealing with issues with focus, even if you're dealing with issues with your mood, if you just, have moments of high extreme stress and moments of, depression, it's not something you chronically deal with, but something you deal with here and there. These are going to be natural things that you can do, supplements and vitamins that you can step into that are going to be beneficial in your overall mental health. So let's go ahead and get into the Of course, if you guys want to book sessions with me, follow me on social media, get your new you course, get your tarot course, book your business services and your business reboots and your spiritual mentorships, even your quick readings. Look down below in the description box to see the website and all of my social media handles so you can get into everything. Let's just go ahead and get right into it. So some things to know before you start. You guys know she has her notes. So let's get into it. Some things to know before you start. So when you are taking supplements, when you're doing anything for your mental health, but specifically when you're doing supplements and vitamins, consistency is going to be key. You're going to want to take something consistently, and you definitely don't want to stop taking it when it's working for you. That's definitely something that I have done in the past, mistakenly taking something, and then when I feel better, I stop taking it, and then I feel bad again. Whenever you're looking for things to add into your routine for your mental wellness, 9 times out of 10, this is going to be something that you want to add in your routine on a regular basis. Whether this is something you end up taking once every other day, or 3 times a week, or twice a week, or however, you are really not the goal really shouldn't be to bring something into your routine until you feel better and then to just cut it out. Because if you do have a chronic anxiety or a chronic depression or a chronic insomnia, chronic panic attacks as a result of these types of issues, you're going to want to keep doing what's working, so you want to have consistency in your mind before you get started. If you need to rearrange some things in your schedule or in your, your everyday routine to make sure that you're going to be able to hit the milestones and the goals that you want to, then go ahead and get into it so you can make sure that you're, taking your supplements when you need to, getting into it as you need to, and bringing these things into your routine in a way that works for you. You can do capsules, you can do pills, you can do liquid, you can even do, I mentioned capsules, but you can also, open up the capsules and put that into smoothies or what have you. So there's a bunch of different ways that you can take these vitamins and supplements. You can also find a lot of them in foods as well. Foods are going to be great at incorporating better foods into your diet. Now, we're not going to be getting into foods necessarily, but you can look up foods containing blank and figure out, lists of foods for each one of these individual things that are on the list that we're going to get into. But that's the first thing that you want to have in mind, making sure that you're going to be stepping into something that you will be using consistently. Also, you may have to try different combinations to figure out what works. So it's not going to be a one supplement fits all type thing. I'm going to give you insight into these things, but I would definitely recommend doing your own research and, trying these things one at a time or seeing what works well together. Some things work well together. Some things may not work well together. You do not want to take a bunch of things that can leave you feeling drowsy, obviously, because if you have a bunch of things that leave you feeling drowsy, you're more than likely to be falling asleep all the time. So it is good to be mindful of what you're taking and what its specific function is when you're going to be pairing things together. Some things work well together. Some things might not be the best pairing. So you definitely want to be mindful of that. And also, just be open to possibly trying different things to figure out what works. It might not be a one size fits all. And if you try something and it doesn't work or it doesn't give you what you need, don't be discouraged. Just go to the next thing. Just like if you were trying a medication or trying a workout routine, it's not going to be a one size fits all. People swear by supplements and vitamins. I think supplements and vitamins are really, really great because there's a lot that we do not get that we need for our body. bodies and for our minds, and everything else, so it is important to be able to supplement those things and give yourself the things that you're not already getting. So it is important, but you want to make sure if you put these things in your routine that you're consistently doing it and that you're open to figuring out what works for your specific needs. Next, what is going to be affecting your energy levels? So if you know that you need to be awake, if you know that you have, you don't have a lot of flexibility where you can, try something and maybe sleep or deal with dizziness or deal with nausea or deal with digestive issues even, you don't always know what kind of side effects you're going to be getting when you're trying different supplements. So it could be good to, try integrating these things, in a way where it's going to be benefiting your schedule. If you know you're going to take something that could make you sleepy, maybe doing it before bed instead of doing it first thing in the morning before you have to go to work, or maybe taking it after you get off work or something like that. You want to think about when's going to be the best time to integrate something. If you're taking something for energy, you might not want to do that, halfway through the workday, and then have difficulties winding down in the end of the day. So it could be important to be mindful of those things. So you definitely want to think about what type of things are important for you throughout the day, what things you need to make sure you have. If you need to have energy, if you need to have focus, if you need to make sure that you still maintain your appetite because of your fitness goals or what have you, it's going to be mindful. It's going to be beneficial to just look into those side effects and take those things very, very seriously, especially if you're going to be trying to pair these things together. Also, like I mentioned, look up where you can find these things in food. Most of these things, if not all of these things, can be found in food. So look up what foods are going to have these things, because you want to eat foods that are going to be rich in the nutrients that you want. So that's really going to be a big one. Also, asking yourself where you feel the most depleted. So where are you lacking? Where do you need the most help? Is it with mood regulation? Is it with your anxiety? Is it with your depression? Is it with, is it with focus? Is it with your memory? Is it with your appetite? Is it with your energy levels? I can't remember if I say energy levels or not, but, it might even be with your metabolism. Whatever it may be, figure out where you are deficient in, figure out where you have those issues, and, start there. Don't just take something because someone says, oh, this is going to be great for anxiety. There's a bunch of different things great for anxiety. Everything that's on this list is not everything that's great for anxiety and depression. There's dozens and dozens, if not hundreds, literally probably thousands of things that we can do to help us, maintain a healthy mind, specifically in regards to anxiety and depression. So there's always going to be something that you can try and something you can add in your routine, right? But it's not just about checking something off the list and adding it into your routine. Like, I feel like that's how people can end up taking a whole bunch of supplements that aren't even doing anything, so you want to be very specific about what you use. You want to do the research, and you want to be mindful of what you feel and what you specifically need. And if you do want to try something, make sure that it's going to serve your needs specifically. And also, consider seeing a doctor to figure out what you are deficient in. There's a few different doctors that you can go to. There's some, I believe some Chinese medicine doctors that kind of do like scans of your eyes that can tell you where you have issues in your body. You can go get a blood test drawn. I'm sure there's a bunch of different other tests and physical exams that you can do to figure out what you're deficient in. If you feel like you have extreme, issues with like your appetite and falling asleep and staying focused, there could definitely be some things physically going on outside of our mental issues, even though those are physical as well, dealing with, chemical imbalances in the brain. But you know what I mean? Like, you might have low iron, you might have actual stomach issues, you could have other things going on that could be affecting how you're feeling. So it could be good to, possibly check in with a doctor and figure out where you are deficient in. So don't sleep on that. Okay, great. Let's go ahead and get into the different things that we can possibly use. Now, I wanted to give you guys the rundown of just some things to keep in mind so you don't start trying everything that's on this list. So I'm going to briefly go through this list. I'm going to move her into my lap so I can briefly kind of read off of everything and talk about everything with you guys, and also just give y'all some keywords, because you're going to see a lot of the same things when you're looking up, stuff that you can do for anxiety and depression. But some things that you want to be mindful of is brain function. The cause of most anxiety, depression, or mental health disorders is having a lack of neurotransmitters in your brain, having a deficiency of neurotransmitters that bring you your happy hormones. So the things that you take that are going to boost those neurotransmitters or balance those neurotransmitters or promote the function of those things, promote the function of your brain, boosting your energy levels, improving your mood, things like that. Those are going to be things that you're going to want to be on the lookout for. So there's certain keywords here that we can be on the lookout for. So things that mention calming your nervous system, things that are going to calm your nervous system are definitely going to be great for anxiety. Things that are going to be regulating those neurotransmitters. If you have depression, that's going to be your bread and butter. If you have mood issues, mood regulation issues, that's going to be your bread and butter. Also, that's going to be good for anxiety too, but specifically, you want to look out for things that are going to help you regulate your neurotransmitters if you're dealing with depression. So the first thing I have on this list is magnesium. We were getting into this a little bit. Magnesium is really good for anxiety. It's good for sleep, also regulating these neurotransmitters and calming your nervous system. So whenever we are dealing with things that calm our nervous system, right, and ease our anxiety, it's probably also going to make you sleepy. So these are things that you're probably not going to want to take before you drive or before you go to work or before you do certain things. It could definitely make you drowsy. So you might want to be mindful of that. That might not be something that you might want to add to your morning smoothie. Now it depends. Certain things are better for sleep, are stronger for sleep, and other things, making you relax is just kind of like a byproduct of that. So it's important to be mindful of, what you're taking that's more sleep focused, like valerian root, for example. That's one that I have on here. I'm going to skip down because this is mainly used for sleep, specifically for insomnia. If something is used to help some people that have insomnia, it's going to make you very, very sleepy if that's not something that you deal with. So you want to be mindful of that. There's a lot of things that you can use for anxiety. You don't necessarily have to use something that's specifically for sleep to help with your anxiety. So you want to be mindful of that. If you have a more milder case of anxiety, something that could be good would be chamomile. Chamomile is good if you just deal with, everyday stresses or anxiety. If you want something to just zen you out in the morning, chamomile is going to be good. It's going to be something that you can do every day. That's not really going to have, a lot of adverse effects or, be hard on you if you choose to take a couple of days off of your tea or of your supplement. But something like valerian root that is, specifically sleep focused, that could be something that could have, a little bit more of a tougher effect if you're just looking for something to kind of help you relax every day. But again, you want to try these things for yourself, but that's the type of thing that you want to be mindful of. You don't want to go for the strongest sedative if you're looking for something to kind of help you wind down and deal with the stresses or the panic of maybe going into the office every morning. Who knows what people deal with when they go into their jobs or when they have to deal with certain family members or even their partners. So if you need something to just kind of zen you out every day, doing something with chamomile is going to be good. Lavender is the same way, something that's going to relax you, but something that's going to be mild, where you'll still be able to function and move around how you need to move around. So some things, if not all of these things, are going to also be able to be found in teas as well or in actual food items. Something else you want to be on the lookout for are amino acids. Amino acids that you can get your hands on are going to be really, really great. L-theanine is a really, really popular one. This is really, really great for anxiety. This is going to be found in mushrooms and green and black tea as well. And L-theanine is good because it is not going to make you drowsy, but it is going to give you the calming effects that you're looking for. So green tea is going to be something great that you can add in your routine for that. And also, again, you want to be mindful of what you already have in your diet, because if there's a lot of a certain type of food or a lot of a certain type of vitamin that you're already consuming, that could definitely counteract with some of the supplements that you're taking. That could be why certain things aren't working. So if there's a lot of something in your diet, like if you're having yogurt every day, or if you have a lot of greens every day, like if there's something you are consuming every single day and there's a supplement or a vitamin that isn't working for you, there's a chance that there could be something counteracting. So that's going to be good to be mindful of. Alrighty, let's talk about ashwagandha. I'm always talking about ashwagandha. This is something that I was trying. I'm not sure if it's ashwagandha or ashwagandha. I really don't know how to pronounce it, and I'm not going to look up the pronunciation. So let's just go ahead and get into it. This is something that I've used and I really, really liked, when I was in a very dark, deep depression, honey. And I was taking this for 90 days, and it really did do the damn thing. I still keep a bottle of it on me, and sometimes I'll open up a capsule and pour it into a smoothie, pour 2 capsules into a smoothie sometimes, but I love it. It is great for mood regulation. It's great for stress. It's great for anxiety. It's great for your energy as well. Some people also use it for libido and fertility. So ashwagandha is, one of those supplements that gives you a little bit of everything, Most things that are going to be good for fertility or for libido are also going to be things that boost your energy levels and give you more energy overall. So sometimes those things can be good when you're dealing with the type of depression that lowers your energy levels and just leaves you just kind of feeling depleted. So that could be something to be mindful of as well. Let's go ahead and get into, okay, we know vitamin D. We need to get vitamin D from the sun, but a lot of us are very depleted in vitamin D. So that's something easy that you can kind of get into. And most vitamin D supplements you can take every week or every 2 weeks, because a lot of them come in very large milligrams. So that could be something that you look into as well. Something that you can take every other week or every week. It's going to be even easier for you to get into it. Let's get into B6 and B12. Now, B6 and B12 are really, 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 really great. If you're going to be taking any supplements or any vitamins, B6 and B12 are probably, if you could do B6 and B12, then you'll really be set on a lot of things. So I have a lot of things written down for these really, really two great vitamins. Let's get into it. Brain function and mood regulation. Both of these are amazing for brain function and mood regulation. So all things helping your brain run and operate as it needs to, things that will help your brain slow down, things that will help you, have your memory, have the energy that you need, keep your focus, be able to quiet your mind when it's time to quiet your mind, be able to lock in when it's time to lock in. Brain function is what we need. A lot of times when we're dealing with anxiety and depression, the first thing that we lose is the ability to, think clearly and process things and, come to logical conclusions and make things make sense for us. So this is going to be great for that. B6 is going to be producing the neurotransmitters needed to support anxiety and depression. So we know anxiety and depression, we have a lack, a depletion of the function of our neurotransmitters in our brain. So we are not making the happy chemicals that we need to. So this is going to give you what you need to boost those neurotransmitters. B6 is also really great if you have ADD or ADHD, if you have a lot of trouble focusing. B12 is going to boost your energy. It's great for regulating those neurotransmitters that I just mentioned. And also they work very, very well together. So these are two that are going to work well together. B6 more specifically for anxiety. B12 is going to work really great for depression. But you can, pair these two together if you just kind of want to cover all the bases with your mood, with your mind, with the chemicals in your brain, just everything top to bottom. Zinc is going to be something really, really good that we can easily add into our routine, because zinc is in food everywhere. A lot of these things are in food. Zinc is in food everywhere. So we really want to be mindful of getting some zinc into our routine. And I mentioned before about, possibly having low iron or being anemic or something like that. It could definitely be good to go and just get your levels checked out to figure out where you are low, because having deficiencies in a lot of the minerals and the nutrients that we need in our body, that's why we need the supplements. That's why we need to add something that's going to make up for what we're missing. So get into it. This is something that is also something good that we want to get into. Taking specific amino acids that are going to do specific things to target specific functions of our brain. We know we talk about brain function. That's going to be doing everything, right? But if you want something to specifically target something in your brain, looking into amino acids that you can get your hands on are going to be good. Let's talk about GABA. Okay, this is a really, really good one. Gamma aminobutyric acid. Very good one. It gives you a calming effect on the brain. This is going to be something great for everybody, I think. This is going to be something that's going to allow you to take your time, process things more effectively, have that pause in moments of anxiety and depression where you're spiraling very, very quickly into one direction. Having those pause and those moments of pause and being able to find your way to how you need to feel and think. Again, it's really just about finding those moments, and not even moments, it's really about finding those spaces of deficiency and making sure that we're able to target those things with what we're bringing in. So I would definitely recommend, if you aren't comfortable going to a doctor or seeing anybody, really ask yourself, what you need. Ask yourself what isn't working. Be specific about those things. And then, start doing some research, start trying some different things. Be mindful of what you're taking. Be mindful of how these things are going to be interacting with each other. And also be mindful of what you're already intaking. Be mindful of what you're already consuming because of what you're doing, because of what you eat, what you drink, what you smoke, how much time you spend inside, how much time you spend outside, whatever the case may be, how much you work out. Think about what you're already giving yourself and really, use the vitamins and the supplements and the amino acids and the drops. Use all of those things, to the best of their ability by really being intentional and specific about how you want to bring these things into your routine. So yeah, that's basically what I have for you guys. Let me know which one of these you're already trying. If you guys have experience with any of these, I'll show the list again. If you guys have experience with any of these, and let me know down below how they've worked for you. Please share in the comments how these things have worked for you if you use them. If you are going to be trying these things, then, you know, let me know how you feel about them. There are so many different places where you can get supplements and vitamins. And like I mentioned, you can find powders of these items. You can find foods where these items are in the food. You can get, you know, drops that you put under your tongue. You can get gummies. You know, there's so many different places online that you can find that are in so many different price ranges. Just do your research, because there's so many different places where you can get these things. If you have a farmer's market in your area or an herb shop, you can definitely find a lot of these things there and make your own teas and brew your own teas. There's a million different places where you can find these things. So I would say, you know, look into teas. Look into what foods are going to be, containing these items and the things that you need. Look into what foods are going to be containing those things. The things that you need the most, look into supplements that you can take, daily things that you can take. If that's going to be a powder, if that's going to be a tea that you do every morning, if that's going to be a drop, if that's going to be something that you take that makes you good for the week and you don't have to worry about taking it until next week. Figure out what you need that's going to work best for your routine, and start to, add it in your routine and keep track of what is working for you. So yes, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it put some things in perspective for you as you're going to be, looking into trying different things and bringing different things into your life to boost your overall health. I appreciate you guys, of course, and I thank you guys for being here, and I will see you guys next time. So yes, make sure you chime in down below in the comments. I appreciate y'all as always, and yeah, bye guys, bless.